We are going to be making a lot of noise in this theater today. Maybe by clapping, maybe by cheering, maybe with a little bit of indoor lighting. Definitely on that last one. We are going to be making real indoor lighting today. That is as bright and as loud as natural lighting striking close by outside. Now, I will give you a heads up when these bright flashes of light and loud noises are going to occur. But I will put on these wonderfully fashionable museum-red headphones. And when I do that, or when I say I am doing that, it's a good clue for you to cover your ears and prepare for some sparks. Now, if you do need to make a quick exit at any point during this show, please feel free to do so. You got a door down here on your right-hand side, leads down to lower level. You got a door in the back of the theater, leads down a handicap-accessible ramp to lower level. And you have doors on level 1 and level 2. So please feel free to use those doors at any point. And my last bit about emergency exits is that we do have to keep all red carpet clear. So that includes our whole stairway needs to stay clear through the show, all the way around my stage and out our door here on your right. I think we can do that pretty easily today, but I'm just making a note of it. All right, with that out of the way, it is now time for me to introduce you to the true star of the show, because apparently it's not me. I digress. It is the giant machine in the middle of the room. This is the world's largest and the world's oldest air-insulated Van de Graaff generator. This machine right here was created by Robert Van de Graaff himself in the 1930s, and it was originally created to smash atoms. Impressive. But in the 1950s, MIT, Robert Van de Graaff did not need or want this 3-story tall machine anymore, so they donated it to us here at the Museum of Science. And we basically built this entire theater around it. And since then, we've been using it to teach people all about electric charges, electricity, and lighting safety. And those are the things that we are going to be covering today over the next 20 minutes or so. But I think it's time for me to stop talking about what this machine can do. And I think it's time for me to show you what this machine can do. What do you all think about that? Is that okay with you? Or? I was hoping so, because I was probably going to show you anyways. We are going to turn our attention over to the left-hand side of our theater, where our thing in the theater, lightning loves tall metal things. I'm going to cover my ears. You should do the same. And let's prepare for some sparks. buzzing sound. Now that's caused by the spark at the top of these Tesla coils. It's not just one long continuous spark, it's many sparks in a very short amount of time. 120 sparks are happening per second at the top of these Tesla coils. We just can't see it. It's too fast for our eyes, and we can't hear all those individual clocks. It's too fast for our ears. But that suggests that if you were to change the number of sparks per second, you could change the sound that you hear. And that is what we are going to do with our two Tesla coils in the left-hand side here. Is we are going to change the number of sparks happening per second and see if it changes the sound that we hear. So I'm going to put our Tesla coils on our camera here. We're going to cover our ears, and we're going to give it a try. Let's prepare for some sparks. Our sparks are really only going to be getting brighter and louder from here. And actually at the very end of our show, we're going to turn all of these machines on as high and as loud as they can go and make our very own symphony of sparks. It's going to be great. Now, like I said, this machine right here is called a Van de Graaff generator. But it actually doesn't generate electricity at all. What it's really doing is separating electric charges. All atoms have electric charges, and since our entire world is made up of atoms, our entire world has electric charge. And there's two types of electric charges. You maybe heard of them before. There's positive and there's... Thank you, scientists. Positive and negative. And they do some really interesting things when they interact. So say you have opposite charges, like a positive and negative, they attract or come together. And when you have like charges or same charges, like a negative and a negative, they repel or push away. And that's incredibly important for us to know when we think about how we even make lightning in our indoor theater here. And to help me explain this, well, I'm going to give you a sneak peek inside of our Van de Graaff generator. So if you look on the screen to the left and right hand sides of our theater here, what you're looking at is a live feed from a camera that's currently located at the bottom of this rightmost column. That's right there. And what you're seeing is the very bottom of really long rubber bands. Just giant rubber bands that stretch from the bottom of this machine all the way to the top. Now right now the machine is off, so nothing exciting is really happening. But if I were to turn it on, those belts start to spin and start to rotate and get faster and faster and faster, getting up to 60 miles per hour, carrying just negative electric charges to the very top of this machine. Those negative electric charges build and build and build on the very outside of those domes, and same charges, like charges, if you have a bunch of negative charges all around one another, what are they going to do? Repel. And that is when the lightning occurs, is those charges repelling one another, they push through the air in an attempt to rebalance to have the same number of positive and negative. Really, really cool stuff here. But my question for you is, can we see electric charges? Can we see electric charges? No, we cannot see electric charges. They're invisible. They're even in the air that we breathe. Can we see electricity? Ooh, a little bit more hesitation there. Heard a couple yeses. We actually cannot see electricity. Electricity is also invisible. Electricity is a force. All forces are invisible. Let's think of another force. Gravity. Can you see gravity all around the air? No. But we experience the wonderful effects of gravity, like me standing here on the ground instead of floating off in space. And that's the same thing in this theater. We're not seeing electricity. We are experiencing the effects of electricity. Now, I'm going to show you another piece of equipment that can help us experience the effects of electricity. And these are on the left and right hand sides of our theater. These are our small plug your phone into the wall to get internet. How barbaric. You can just get it through the air. And that was the idea. But with these Tesla coils, now they didn't quite work out in that way, but they do sort of work. And I'll show you that with a handy dandy light bulb. So here we have a light bulb currently off. I'm going to turn our lights down. Light bulb still off. Going to turn our Teslas on. Light bulb is still off. But as I get closer, you may notice a change. Turns on. Further away, it's off. Closer, it turns off. I'll show my friends over here. So while I'm in between the Tesla coils, light bulb is off. But as I get closer, it turns on. Now, believe it or not, I am not a Jedi. I know, shocking. What's happening here is those electric charges are moving through the air, exciting the electrons in that light bulb. Star Wars! Yes! The Imperial March. The Imperial March, Darth Vader. Incredible. Okay, so clearly our musical Tesla coils are going to be playing a leading role in our symphony of sparks at the very end of our show. But we got one more thing to talk about before we get there, and that is lightning safety. Right, we've made it safe in this theater for you to come here and enjoy indoor lightning, but I want to make sure that you make safe choices when you may encounter some wild lightning. So say you're in your backyard just hanging out, and then all of a sudden, in the distance, you see a bolt of lightning. Where can you go?
Inside.
Inside, yeah, of course. Into your house, into your apartment, into the Museum of Science, all safe places to be during a lightning storm. But what if you're not near that traditional shelter? Maybe you drove to the park and you're just about to lay out a blanket, and then all of a sudden, in the distance, you see a bolt of lightning. Where can you go? Your car. Your car, yes, and your car is a safe place to be during a lightning storm because of the tires. The tires. Okay. I just so conveniently have a rubber tire that I can raise to be the tallest thing in this theater. I also so conveniently have a giant indoor lightning making machine. So we're going to hit this tire with some sparks and see if it's the reason why you're safe in a car during a lightning storm. Now your job in this experiment is to look in between those two light posts. When the spark hits the tire, if you do not see a spark between those two white posts, you will know that the rubber was able to stop those moving electric charges and that it is the reason that you're safe. But if you look between those two white posts and you do see a spark, well, you will know that those electric charges were able to push through that rubber and that it is not the reason that you're safe. So keeping that in mind, we're just about ready. Let's cover our ears and keep our science eyes open. And let's give it a try. Okay. Raise your hand if you saw a spark between those two light posts. Oh yeah, so did I. So that means that the tire is not the reason that you're safe during a lightning storm when you're in a car. Now, you may know that rubber is an excellent insulator. An insulator is great at stopping moving electric charges. That's all true. And tires are made of that material. But air is also a really excellent insulator. So if a lightning bolt can travel through miles and miles of insulating air, do you think a couple inches of insulating rubber is going to stop it? No, it's not. So the tire's not the reason that you're safe. What else could be keeping you safe in the car during a lightning storm?
The metal body.
The metal frame of the car. Okay. Now I don't have the metal frame of a car in our theater here today, but you may have noticed that I do have a giant metal birdcage. And we're going to make this experiment a little bit more personal for me, and that I'm going to get inside of our giant metal birdcage. I'm going to raise myself to be the tallest thing in our theater. We're going to turn our Van de Graaff generator on. We're going to hit this cage with some sparks and see if it's the reason why you're safe in a car during a lightning storm. No one's going to stop me. Great. Everybody's like, okay, good idea. We should definitely do this. All right, here we go. our generator on. So if you listen closely, you can hear the belts in this rightmost column starting to spin, getting up to 60 miles per hour, carrying just negative electric charges to the very top of this machine. Now, I'm going to sit right here in the middle. Maybe you can think about what I should do to keep myself safe, or what I should not do to keep myself safe. And with that in mind, I'm going to cover my ears. You should do the same. And let's give it a go. Now, this may be initially confusing because you may know that metal is an excellent conductor, or a material that's really great at letting electric charges pass through it. And that's true. But what's happening here is something called the skin effect. When those electric charges are coming to this cage, they're moving and changing really rapidly, basically turning this cage into a giant magnet, pushing the electric charges to the very outside, or skin, of the metal, keeping me safe on the inside, even as I touch the very inside of the metal. Now, this is only true if you're fully surrounded by metal, so all sides, top and bottom, have got to be metal. So this metal cage, safe. Metal trash can with a metal lid, uncomfortable, but safe if you're a pickle. Cars are typically safe unless you have a convertible. I don't know, good for you. I'm super jealous. However, maybe keep that one at home that day. All right, I'm going to come on out and join you lovely people, because I do believe I have promised you a symphony of sparks of sort. That's my microphone. Here we go. Beautiful. A symphony of sparks of sorts. So we're going to get that rolling. This is going to be the very end of our show, so I just want to take the time to thank you all for joining me here at the Museum of Science, for joining me to learn about electric charges, electricity, and lightning safety. And I hope you enjoyed our symphony of sparks, where we turn all of these machines on as high and as loud as they can go. So again, this will be the end. So if you have any questions, comments, jokes, I'll take them all. Just meet me right here at the very edge of the stage, and I will come to you. And without further ado, sit back.
डेढ़ खा पक्के
Continue.
You want to say something about this stuff?
No.
No?
No, I
Why?
cannot say. But I only enjoy this
You
one.
enjoyed
Is a new
it?
information for me.
What did you like in it?
Huh?
What did you like in it?
Lightning.
What did you like in these lightning, and then they played a song, and
Yeah,
and
song
about
is
this
good.
girl.
Huh?
Do you like this girl? Yeah, she was much more funnier.
But it's a good style for teaching and
Yeah, communication skill.
Communication skills are very nice. And
Rather than answer questions about the ad. To answer those questions, ask how to break apart the ad to explore its structure and parts. To then grab guide.
चलो सी
डेढ़ खा पक्के
Continue.
You want to say something about this stuff?
No.
No?
No, I
Why?
cannot say. But I only enjoy this
You
one. Is
enjoyed
a new
it?
information for me.
What did you like in it?
Huh?
What did you like in it?
Lightning.
What did you like in these lightning, and then they played a song, and
Yeah,
and
song
about
is
this
good.
girl.
Huh?
Do you like this girl? Yeah, she was much more funnier.
But it's a good style for teaching and
Yeah, communication skill.
Communication skills are very nice. And
Constant rotation.
Let's see if it knocks down.
Constant rotation.
Let's see if it knocks down. देख रहे हैं।
हायर एजुकेशन कमीशन में
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा।
MOU साइन करवाते हैं।
ठीक।
ये पाकिस्तान की जो यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हैं ये इंटरनेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ कोई एग्रीमेंट करते हैं तो उसका फिर हम HEC से भी अप्रूव लीगल चीज़ें देखते हैं, फिर हम मिनिस्ट्री एजुकेशन को भेज देते हैं।
अच्छा ठीक ठीक। तो आप स्टेशन इस्लामाबाद में हैं।
So say you need your physics textbook in your room, but you want to start a problem set, you can look out there for 4 hours. This building is open 24 hours, so a lot of times you'll see students posting up here, like on Sunday, and just staying here all day. Any questions about anything?
Is the computer science department also in this building?
Yes. So all the STEM departments are housed here, but I think, yeah, some computer science classes take place here, but some are.
देख रहे हैं।
हायर एजुकेशन कमीशन में
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा।
MOU साइन करवाते हैं।
ठीक।
ये पाकिस्तान की जो यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हैं ये इंटरनेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ कोई एग्रीमेंट करते हैं तो उसका फिर हम HEC से भी अप्रूव लीगल चीज़ें देखते हैं, फिर हम मिनिस्ट्री एजुकेशन को भेज देते हैं।
अच्छा ठीक ठीक। तो आप स्टेशन इस्लामाबाद में हैं।
Constant rotation.
Let's see if it knocks down.
Constant rotation.